In this lesson on the sociology of deviance, we'll be talking about how deviance can be good for societies. By definition, deviance violates social norms, and we know that social norms help hold our society together. Knowing this, we have to ask the question, how can deviance be good for societies, groups, or cultures? Deviance promotes social order. Emil Durkheim, the founder of what we call structural functionalism, argued that deviance contributes to social order in three main ways. It clarifies moral boundaries and affirms norms. It promotes social unity, and it can promote social change. Deviance clarifies moral boundaries. Not stopping to help a neighbor having a heart attack will arouse the contempt of the community because helping is seen as the moral thing to do. Deviance helps people to define the moral boundaries of a situation. In most societies, human life is valued very highly, and not helping someone whose life is in jeopardy is considered immoral. Many of us have never been in a serious life or death situation where our help is needed, so we may not have considered what we would do. Sometimes it's the deviant that shows us the way where the boundaries are. In this example, the neighbor who didn't stay to help the person having a heart attack is held in contempt by other neighbors. Even if he walked away after calling 911, he probably would still be distrusted by the community. Our moral code calls for us to be present until help arrives. Deviance affirms social norms. Sometimes we learn how to behave appropriately by watching someone behaving badly. How does deviance affirm social norms? Let's take the example of a New Year's party at the bank where you work. Maybe you've never been to one of these parties. There's champagne there, and your coworkers are almost all having a glass. But a teller from your local branch is dressed in a skimpy outfit and is falling down drunk. Really, just like most of the women were at the other New Year's party you went to last night at your neighborhood bar. But tonight, everyone's talking about her behind her back, and the boss is giving her a cold stare. You just know she may be losing her job tomorrow, especially when she makes a pass at one of the new employees. So you drink your champagne slowly and make sure you maintain a professional attitude. You fit right in with the model of success. You might be getting that promotion after all. Deviance promotes social unity. There's a rash of burglaries in the neighborhood, and people are scared it will happen to them, and they start talking to each other. When community members face deviance that they deem threatening, they often come together to fight off the threat. In the process, they become aware of their common values and shared interests. They also tend to draw greater distinctions between themselves and the deviants. Organizing a neighborhood watch can turn a loose group of families into a close community. They may originally start meeting to protect themselves from the threat. They start thinking in terms of us versus them. This is what sociologists call in-groups versus out-groups. People who are part of an in-group tend to see themselves as more similar than they may actually be. They will also start feeling more comfortable with each other and rely on each other more. Deviance can promote social change. Aspects of racial segregation and discrimination were legal in many parts of the U.S. until the 1960s. This picture shows the extent of racial segregation in the South. The building is the colored dining room at the Greyhound bus station. African Americans often found it difficult to find food or lodging when they were traveling. But people who sat in at white-only lunch counters helped to end legal segregation in the South. Civil disobedience is a special circumstance of deviance. One of the ways we've arrived at a more just society is through people disobeying laws they considered unjust. The laws against discrimination only changed after widespread civil disobedience pushed lawmakers into action. In summary, we've seen that deviance promotes social order in three main ways. It clarifies moral boundaries and affirms social norms. It promotes social unity. It can promote social change. I'm sure you can think of many more examples for each of these statements. This might make interesting dinner conversation with your friends and families. See how many examples you can come up with.